I remember that well, and especially where if the wedding was held in the house, which a lot of them used to be then, and there'd be sometime during the night, people used to come up with bags on the chimneys and smoke them out of it, and then they would blow in, as you say, into the bottles, or they get there used to be an old for the horn of a car, and they'd blow into that and make a racket around the house, and they'd tie the door after they put in the bag on the window or the chimney. They'd tie the door so they wouldn't get out and they'd be smoked out.
I heard of a local man that happened to, I'm not going to mention any names on camera, but he was very annoyed. Didn't talk to the friends for a long, long time because they did that. But the Halloween, you know, the ducking for apples and all those things, that was great. Did you ever hear that, Mickey? We used to have an apple hanging out at the ceiling as well. And you have to try and, you know, without touching, you have to try and bite it. Then the one in the basin duck for it and all those kind of things. Yeah. But I think they're all gone.
The Maybush, there's always been a Maybush in Taghmon, on the way into Taghmon there in Manny's Row, and it was all some sort of little tree, and it was covered with ribbons and
everything, and maybe there's
toilet paper and everything.
Yeah, and if there was primroses, we used to call them Mayflowers in Roscommon. Yeah. But the same old lady now, she's now about 93, and every year Elsie.
Oh yes, yeah.
Every year she dressed that, and she was brilliant.
Well, it is just as if there was a child, you give him a shilling or whatever it was, and that was called a hansel. I don't know what it meant now.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I've heard of the hansel. Friars used to bless Stranwater, was it? And they used to bless a flannel cloth as well. I can't remember what that was used for. But I remember my aunt used to get those cloths blessed inside in the friary and the Tran water, and that would be blessed water that was shaken all over the crops and the animals. But I don't know why it was called Tran water or anything.
Spell it. Tran.
Tran water.
Tran.
I don't know how to spell it. I did hear of if you went into a house and they were churning, that you had to take a turn at the churn.
Yeah.
That's why. And then I used to hear something about the fairies coming to take the cream, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't turn into butter at all.
Went out in the field and there was dew on it and rubbed it into my face. That was it.
That's why your complexion is so good.
That's how my complexion is.
Yes. And the children at Easter then used to go around to all the houses and collect eggs.
Oh, eggs, yes. It wasn't chocolate Easter eggs.
No, there was no chocolate Easter eggs then. They used to collect a basket and.
There used to be nearly a competition in our house, in our little locality, who'd eat the most eggs.
Who'd collect the most. Yeah.
Great.
Always blessed salt. We always left over salt at the church and have it blessed on Easter Sunday. And the priest used to bless Easter water as well, didn't he?
Yeah. That was true.
But
I think that still goes on, doesn't it?
The blessed salt was there to shake on the crops and everything as well. I think that's what was used for. They're still doing that. Like you'd still see the cartons of salt over at the church.
Yeah, that's just
for Easter Sunday. The priest blesses them.
Well, it was the first milk after the calf was born, and he didn't use it. But as I said, this man always had to get it, and he used to drink it, and then. After that, it was all right. Yeah. The next one was I think the next one might be the same, but after that then it was grand. Yeah. Soft looking stuff, yellow looking stuff.
Yeah, it was yellow, but they used to make lovely pancakes. I've often eaten the pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
To be the pancakes made out of the beestings. And that would be the first. Like, I've never heard of anyone actually drinking it now.
Well, this was the only man. He's dead now, Lord of mercy. He lived to be an old age, so doesn't he killed him? They used to make her own barmbrack. And there'd be a threepenny bit in it, and there'd be the ring, and there'd be, what else? Maybe a small little pebble wrapped up in paper and put into it. And that was gorgeous.
Yeah, and they called cannon, like that was a treat to get that. Oh yeah, we carved the turnip and put the candle in it.
The candle in it.
Yeah. And that was before the pumpkins became popular.
Oh yes,
the turnip.
yeah. We didn't even know what a pumpkin was then. It was the turnips.
And we often eat turnips, picked up turnips in the field and clean them off and eat them as well, just like an apple.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember having a Christmas tree.
I don't.
Plenty of holly and
definitely the holly.
Holly.
Yeah. And there used to be loads of berries. I remember that. But I don't remember a Christmas tree.
No, I don't either. I do remember back in my younger days, they used to have mistletoe dances when you go to the dance.
Oh, yeah.
And there'd be a guy going around, you'd be dancing with some fella, and he'd come around with the mistletoe over your head, and he has to kiss you.
Yeah.
And that used to be great, you know, you'd be wondering, you know, will I get a nice fella?
Depends on who you were dancing with.
Yeah, that was right. I don't think they have those now at all, but it was very common in the town hall in Wexford there, I remember years ago. I think it was my uncle that saw, he was going to look at, it was sheep or something. There was ewes, I think, lambing. And he was going to look at them during the night, and he saw this huge big black dog and all that.
Well, ours was a black pig.
Yeah.
It was a special part of the road. And I remember sometimes, you know, there was a house used to sell paraffin oil and things like that, and I used to often go over on the bike with this thing. I'd be afraid of my life passing this particular place. You know, I always made sure that it was done during the day. There'd be no way you get me going over in the evening.
It was only in recent years that they started cutting the ra's at all. I think they wouldn't touch them back years ago. It was bad luck would fall in the family.
Yeah.
If you touched the fairy raz. Did you ever hear of it, Michael? Did you ever hear of this thing that was to cure blackleg in sheep, that they used to hang up a sheep's leg and wrap it up and hang it up up the chimney. It was supposed to cure blackleg. I knew the house that was in. I used to be scared of my life when I was going into when you see this thing hanging up. But I've never heard anyone else talking about it.
No, I didn't either.
And there was also a farmer that wouldn't yoke horses on a Friday, I think. And he was the only one around that never yoke a horse on a Friday. The wrong way, or jacket on the wrong way. You have to turn around 3 times. And I know a woman that does that still.
Yeah, if you did put something on a jumper and something inside out, you weren't supposed to change it.
No, but you're supposed to turn around 3 times. Well, I just heard that of people crossing over the fields and get into a particular field and going round and round the field and wouldn't be able to get out of it. They wouldn't know where the entrance or where they were at all, and take off their coat and turn it inside out, and that's supposed to bring him back on bring him back to the gate.
The right road.
Younger always had the Sacred Heart picture. Always, it was one thing I always believed in and still have it.
Oh, I have it.
But none of the family.
Looking, oh no, I tell you, it's not repeated any. But
and holy water.
I was looking.
Another thing, the holy water was something that I wouldn't be without in the house.
Oh yeah.
Shake it every night. It's thunder and lightning.
I have it in the car as well.
The blessed candle, another thing.
Yeah, I have it in the car. The holy water.
Yeah.
It's either Lourdes or it could be knocking, but it's in my car, and that's it. That's probably saved me several times. You got a child of Prague, given a child of Prague, and then if there was some event that you wanted, a fine day coming up, like a weather, and you put it out outside the house at night. And it did work, because I remember Emer's. It rained when she was going up to church. I remember I went all out and I got a big long white car, and it rained. But from the time she got out of that car to walk up the steps, no rain. The same when they were taking the photographs on the step, no rain. And then we all got in the cars, and some of them were going to what do you call that place? St. Peter's, wasn't it? Peter's College.
Yeah. To
take photographs. And it didn't rain. And it was the same. We were taking photos from the place. And the minute we went into White's Hotel, the heavens opened. And I know that from young friends' weddings, I will always put it out. Well, they're nearly all over now, all them weddings. But I put it outside the back door, and it worked. And then the head had to fall off at May. It was going to be very lucky once the head fell off it. Did that happen yours?
No.
Oh, I was disgusted the first time the head fell off, and I kept trying to put it sitting up on it, and eventually it disappeared. But I like the child of Prague.
Yeah.